that. What the weirdest thing just happened, and I'm not quite sure how to deal with this. My hair is like forever a mess. Alright, so we shall fun bun it, the low bun. We shall low bun it, secure it in place, and yes, okay, well. Don't I look like a librarian? Okay, so hello and welcome. Hello. My name is Christiane, otherwise known here as IHeartAirbrush, and today we're going to be diving into a makeup tutorial. It's been a very long time since I did a makeup tutorial, and that's primarily because I don't really wear makeup nowadays. So I'm going to be using some products that I have been trying and testing out that I have been loving in both the traditional makeup world mixed in with my airbrush makeup. I did want to go ahead and take this year to kind of branch out a little bit from just doing solely airbrush makeup. I've been here on YouTube for like almost 8 years now, and I've done everything that I've wanted to do. I feel like there's not everything, but I've done the vast majority of what I wanted to do. I've spent more than what I wanted to spend on makeup being here on YouTube and, you know, doing airbrush makeup. Yes, hopefully that'll give you the very questioned ideal that I paid for a lot of the stuff that I use here on my channel. So yeah, I just don't feel like I want to invest any more money into airbrush or airbrush makeup. I feel like what I have right now is what I'm going to be using. I really don't see the point in investing in any more stuff unless it's trying a new brand. There are 2 brands that I do want to dive into, but I definitely have to wait until I have extra funds to go ahead and do that. So yeah, it's going to be a minute before I dive into anything new with airbrush makeup. So what you're going to see is pretty much what I have been using. You're going to see a lot of Dinair. You're going to see a lot of Temptu. Those are the 2 brands that I typically stocked up on items for in my collection over the years because, you know, Temptu's silicone base, Dinair's water base. I was very much drawn to those brands' aesthetic, and of course the range of products that they have kind of suited my needs. So those are the 2 brands that you will be seeing a lot of here. So depending on what you guys want, if you could just let me know in the comment section below what you want to see more of. Do you want to see more tutorials using Temptu, or do you want to see more tutorials using Dinair? I have like 400 plus videos, and the vast majority of them are using Dinair products. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just transition to trying to use more Temptu products and help those of you kind of with tips and tricks on utilizing Temptu airbrush makeup. But of course, you guys will be the judge of that and let me know, because obviously I want, anytime I get a chance to sit down and film content, I want to make sure it's content that you guys want to see. So, and my Temptu videos tend to do a lot better. So I'm thinking you guys want to see Temptu, but just to confirm it, go ahead and comment down in the comment section below. That would help me out a ton and kind of dictate the content that you're going to see from here on out, at least for the vast majority of the content that you're going to see here on out. Alright, so that is about it for the rambling. Let's just go ahead and dive into the makeup. So like I said before, we're going to dip into a little traditional, a little bit of Temptu airbrush makeup. I might maybe use a couple of Dinair products, but maybe not too much. We're definitely going to go in with Temptu foundation today and everything. So I want a nice light glowy makeup. So this makeup is going to be definitely glowy, soft, ethereal, but natural. Okay, more my skin but better vibes. You know that's the vibe here that I like here on my channel. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right in. All right, so to start off the look, gonna go ahead and prep the face. So I already applied my moisturizer, and the moisturizer that I use when I'm going to be wearing makeup has been the Good Molecules Silicone Free Priming Moisturizer. Now, I started trying this moisturizer out a while back when my skin first was experiencing a lot of irritation. And I mean, it's an okay moisturizer. I can't really say anything horrible about it, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like it did much for me. It hydrates the skin okay, and it acts as a decent base. I did notice that I got a little bit oily wearing makeup with this one on throughout the day, but on my like no makeup days, This is not a bad one to use. There is another one that I got a sample size of that I ended up trying and loving. So before I feel comfortable in investing in that one, I definitely have to get through this one first. So you're going to go ahead and see this one in the next few tutorials until I use it up. And then I'll be transitioning to a new priming moisturizer, or kind of like makeup base kind of moisturizer. So I already applied that to my face. Now that is silicone free, and I am going in with silicone based products. So how will I do that, you ask? Holy grail. We going in Scandinavia Bridal Makeup Finishing Spray. This is my go-to. It's OG. Been using it for years. I actually have a really old tutorial where I tried it for the first time. It's like a review video. Anyways, since that video, I have since been using it still. I absolutely love this product, and I find that it works really well. This is not silicone free. It does have silicone. It's just a little bit further down on the ingredient list. So I find that anytime I'm using a skin prep base kind of thing that is silicone free and I want to go in with silicone makeup, this makes a nice medium in between that product and the silicone based makeup, in which the makeup will kind of last and stay on without sliding away. So absolutely love this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and spritz it onto my face to prepare everything as we go. Get it nice and saturated. Whew, God, that's so relaxing when you just spray your face. I'm gonna go ahead and get my fan, speed this process up. You'd think I would have my fan closer to me, but I never learned, so no, I'm just kidding. I just moved it. Instantly regret moving it. This is always so relaxing. All right, so now that I feel like it's nice and dry, we're gonna go in with the next product, which is another prep product. I'm gonna be using Urban Decay Primer Potion to go ahead and give the eyelids a decent base to stick the shadows for the shadows to stick to. I cannot talk properly, but I am gonna go ahead and use this. This is another thing that I kind of want to use out to try something else. I've been looking into the Fenty one, so if any of you guys have tried the Fenty one, can you guys let me know what your experience was like? Because I would love to kind of switch up the eyeshadow primer, but I don't want anything that's going to dry my lids out, because I've had a history of my lids drying out severely from using shadow bases or certain shadows. So yeah, let me know what your experience is with the Fenty eyeshadow base if you've tried it. That would be so helpful. But for now, OG Urban Decay Primer Potion. So now that that is set down, your girl is going to go in with an eyeshadow concealer base. Now I used to use the MAC paint pot in the shade, I think it was like Soft Ochre that I was using. Yeah, I didn't use paint really. I'm pretty sure it was Soft Ochre. Anyways, I'll be real. I never really liked the paint pots. Now, I know a lot of people love it and use it and swear by it, but I just felt like it was just so like dry and drying, and it would make my lid texture just kind of be accentuated, and I don't know. Anyways, I finally backed off of using that. I gave up on it entirely. Picked this up. Turns out it's too light for my under eye area. Color matching a line, it's kind of hard. Anyways, works great as an eyeshadow base, so that's what I have been using it for. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply it now. That way, when I am ready to apply my eyeshadow, I can just pat it out. We can see if my lids are going to get oily. I can just pat it out and all of that. I did not wet my sponge. I'm not getting up to do that. So I'm using a dry sponge. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this makes you cringe, but I'm doing it. So I'm just going to go ahead and just apply that to kind of cancel out some of that discoloration I have on my lids. Just like so. I feel like all of these like high coverage things emphasize all of my dryness on my lid. It's like I just can't get away from it. So hopefully using the SB shadows, that will provide some sheen, because they have like semi-dewy finishes. So hopefully it'll provide some kind of a sheen to kind of mask the dryness that I have going on right now. So now that that is done, what are we going to do next? Oh my word. Let's go in with under eyes. Okay, so for the under eyes, I have been using Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This is light to medium. Been using this, just to kind of lighten up these inner parts of my eyes. I really have been loving the effect that it's been giving me. It doesn't completely cancel out my dark circles because it's not like, you know, a color corrector. This is more like an under eye brightener, but it gives a nice little brightening effect there, which I like a lot. So sorry, I had to scoot my mirror closer. Maybe I'll go closer to my mirror. So I just take a little bit on my fingers like so, and then I just apply it to this part right here. And then a little bit to the outer bit because there's a lot of darkness right there too. And it just brightens up that area ever so slightly. I'm thinking about trying a color corrector under there, but with airbrush makeup, it's kind of hard to cover color correctors. Now, I've done it with the airbrush color correctors, but my under eye, there's just creasing that happens down there. And I find that like any airbrush makeup kind of just, it either dries it out completely or it just creases really bad there in those little deep lines. Anyways, that's done. Next, for concealer, I'm going to be going in with the Kosas concealer. This is, I don't really know what the name of this is. I just started using it and have been loving it. This is shade 5.5. I'll have everything linked in the description box below if you're interested. But I want to get all of this stuff done so that I can do the voiceover for the airbrush portion of it. For those of you who are familiar, when I do tutorials using the Temptu products, the compressor can be kind of loud. So I like to do voiceovers when I'm doing the airbrush portion. So yeah, let's just get all this other stuff done before we go into that. What the weirdest thing just happened, and I'm not quite sure how to deal with this. Like the top of the concealer just broke off. Like this is sealed, so I'm not worried about it drying out, but like, how does this even happen? I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. Don't know what's going on. Let's just go ahead and pat this out and get a move on. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pat this out. I like this color because it matches the under layer of my skin. All right, so now that that's nice, brightened and slightly corrected, you can see like it's brighter. I love it. Okay, so now that that is done, we're going to save the powder for after we do foundation. So to get that nice glowy base, I have been using a new product. This is the Auric Glow Lust. I got the shade Pyrite. Pyrite matches my undertone perfectly. So when I apply this without foundation or anything under it, I notice that some of these like discolored areas that are a lot lighter end up being a lot more even, which is insane to me. But yeah, this packs a decent amount of pigmentation to it, but then at the same time it still remains light and reflective. It's just so pretty, and I have been loving it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this underneath the makeup just a little bit, not too much. And on my no makeup days, I literally just apply it to the high points of my face here, Cupid's bow, and then I stick to the outside, avoiding the T-zone because I don't want that to be shiny on my no makeup days. But I just apply it to the outer perimeter of my face, and it just looks so beautiful. It's just so glowy and so nice. So let me get closer to my mirror. I'm just gonna go ahead and just apply it to the outer part of my face. Not too much there. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more, and I'm just going to I don't know if it's me being on camera, but I just feel so much more nervous using certain products on camera. But I've been literally using this like every day for the past, like since it launched, because I ordered it on launch day and I got it shortly after. And yeah, I just still get so nervous using it on camera. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply it to all of the areas that I normally do. I'm just going to just above there, right there, and right here. I have like 2 little blemishes right there. Just ignore those, okay? They're not important. Okay, and then I applied it to the outer rim of my face. Clean my hands off just a little. All right, so now it is time to go ahead and get into the airbrush makeup. So we're going to transition over to live speak to voiceover. So let's get on with it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off by color correcting, and here I'm taking Perfect Canvas color correcting shade Salmon, and I'm just applying that over some of the darker areas on my face like so. I do have quite a bit of hyperpigmentation, so I like to go in with the Salmon color corrector prior to the foundation, just so I can have a nice even canvas to work with. Then I'm going to be taking the green color corrector and just neutralizing and diffusing out some of the redness that I have on my skin. So that includes around the nose area, active blemishes. They're just like, sometimes there's random red spots around my cheek or chin area that I just like to go ahead and diffuse out. Once I have that done, I'm going to go in with foundation, and here I'm taking 2 shades from the Perfect Canvas line. I use shades 6.5 and 10. I mix those two together to get my perfect foundation shade. I have gotten away with using shade 7 and shade 10, but I find that 6.5 and 10 is a much closer match to my natural skin tone and undertone. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply my foundation like so in a nice light layer. That way I can get the most natural looking finish. Alright, now it's time for eyeshadow. So here I'm just taking the Perfect Canvas eyeshadows, or Airshadows if you're looking for them online. And I'm starting off with the shade Citrine, and I'm just applying that all over the lid like so. As you can see, I'm taking it from the base of the lash line all the way up through the transition area. I am applying a little bit to the tear duct as well, just for a nice brightening effect. Okay. Oh, whoop, my bad. Happens all the time. So next I'm going to go in with Pebble, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to the crease area, tapering it up into the transition just for a little bit of depth. I want a little bit of dimension in that area, that way the eyes don't look too flat. And then I'm also going to apply it to the outer corner of the lid like so. Okay, then to add some depth, I'm taking Graphite and just applying it to the outer rim of the outer corner of the lid, as well as the outer V. Now I'm just freehanding it first to create that nice haze effect. And then I am going to go ahead and go in with the stencil. This is the Temptu brow stencil that you're going to see in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and go in with that just to create a nice defined line on the outer edge of the eye, or the base of the outer V, to be more specific. Now, out of all the Airshadow shades that Temptu offers with their Earthstone collection, I feel like Graphite is the more temperamental of the bunch. So as you can see, I'm working with it very slowly, and I do recommend that if you are to go ahead and try out this shade, just to go ahead and work in light layers with light passes. Lever control is going to be your best friend when using this shade. All right, now it's time for the Airpod Pro. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that it's prepped. And to prep it, all you have to do is take a little bit of your SB cleaner and pull the loop back repeatedly. And that's going to go ahead and prime the pod. Then you just want to go ahead and attach it to your Air device, turn it on, and spray out the excess SB cleaner. All right, so now it's time to bronze, and here I'm just taking Temptu Air Glow Effects. I believe it's called by a different name now, but when I got it, originally it was called the Air Glow Effects, and this is the shade Warm Glow, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it everywhere where I would normally apply bronzer. This shade is super beautiful and super glowy. I absolutely love it for bronzing, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply it over the face like so. Okay, so once I feel like I'm nice and bronze, I'm going to go in with blush, and here is the Perfect Canvas blush in the shade Venetian Rose. And I'm just going to go ahead and build that lightly up on the cheekbones and then over the bridge of the nose as well. Now it's really easy to go overboard when using the Temptu Air with anything on the face, so you just want to make sure to stay light on the lever. It is a soft touch lever, so lever control is really key to getting a nice seamless soft effect. Okay, and then it's on to highlighter, and this is Perfect Canvas highlighter in the shade Champagne. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop that on the high points of the face, cheekbones, bridge of the nose, hit the cupid's bow. I'm also going to apply it on the tear duct as well as the brow bone, just for that added pop when the light hits my face. The highlighters from this line are just so gorgeous. They're so beautiful. I always pop some on the neck and chest because why not? Glow everywhere. It's so beautiful. It just looks like a nice wet glow. If you go light, it's like a glow from within. Alright, so that is about it for the airbrush portion of the video. The next thing I am going to go ahead and go in with is the Scandinavia Bridal Makeup Setting Spray, just to go ahead and kind of set down the airbrush makeup. I am going to go ahead and apply powder to the T-zone, but you will see I will go ahead and apply this first, then powder, then go ahead and sandwich it in again with a final layer of the Bridal Makeup Finishing Spray. I just find that that helps lock everything in a lot better. So I'm just taking 2 pumps into my AirPod Pro, and I'm going to go ahead and cover it just so I don't spill. It usually comes with a little cap like so, and I'm just going to go ahead and spray it on. Okay, then I'm going to turn that off and use my fan. It's a little bit stronger than the air, covers a wider surface area, so I like to go ahead and just use the hand fan. Alright, so now that the airbrush portion is all complete and the face and base are pretty much done, let's just go ahead and go in with the brows and a liner. So for brows, I don't have a brow color anymore in the Temptu formula, so I have to actually purchase that. So I gotta wait until I get a little bit more funds, you know, to go ahead and pick one of those up, because I really don't want to have to mix shades. Right now, I'm just too lazy for that, if I'm being honest. So what has been working for me is using the M Cosmetics Brow Gel along with the Milani Weekend Brow in the shade 140 Espresso. This gives you a similar kind of fill to what an airbrush brow shade would go ahead and give you. Now, the added benefit to going ahead and just using the brow pen instead of the airbrush is you can also create those little fine brow hair-like strokes in addition to that soft fill. So that's why I've been liking going in with the brow pen instead of busting out the airbrush for it, because there are some days where I literally just fill in my brows and that's all I do as far as makeup. And these 2 products have been my go-to. When I run out of these, I will go ahead and repurchase them. I love them that much. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and start to fill in my brows. First, I want to dust off any makeup or product that could have settled into my brows during my routine. That's why we do the brows last. Alright, and then I'm just going to go ahead and go through my brows with the brow gel. Make sure I can see. And I like this brow gel because it holds the hairs in really nice. And I have a lot of hairs to work with, so if you are like me and you have a lot of hairs that kind of get unruly throughout the day, I definitely recommend the M Cosmetics Brow Gel. It's been working really great. I've tried the Glossier one. I've tried several other ones, including the ColourPop one from Ulta. And I don't know. I didn't like them as much as I liked this one. I feel like the ColourPop one actually created more of those little tiny bumps inside my brows. And then the Glossier one, I mean, it's cool. It was alright. But I definitely prefer the M Cosmetics one a lot more. I definitely groomed those for a lot longer than I normally do. I normally don't take that long brushing this through my brow hairs. I don't know what's going on today. Anyway, so now I'm going to go in with the Milani Weekend Brow. It is a nice little brush tip pen. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and just fill in those sparse areas. There we go. Just like so. Nice light strokes. Just like so. Sometimes I anchor my arm down, but I'm feeling pretty confident today. So I'll just continue doing so like this, my hair out of my face, and then get those strokes before I go into that section there. And I just like it because it creates like really nice hair-like strokes and gives a fill at the same time. I'm just going to do the other side. And there you go. Beautifully filled in brows. Nice addition of hair-like strokes. It's been my go-to brow routine. You can probably see why. Hopefully you can see why. I can see why. I definitely love it. So today, to go ahead and finish off the eyes, I am going to go in with traditional eyeliner. Now I could bounce into another airbrush brand to do my eyeliner. For those of you who are new here, I like to use water-based airbrush makeup for my eyeliner. I just feel like it's safer to use because if I get in the eye, it's not that big of an issue for me, as opposed to silicone-based makeup and eyeliner don't really go together. They don't really go hand in hand because you don't really want the silicone-based makeup getting into your eye. So instead of dipping into a water-based airbrush eyeliner like I normally would and like I have in past videos, I'm just going to go ahead and go in with the traditional liner. And the one that I have been loving a lot is it's from M Cosmetics, and it is the I can't remember what this is called. This is called the Illustrative Eyeliner. This is the brush tip in the shade Black. Absolutely love this eyeliner so much that I do want to go ahead and pick up the brown one as well. This is definitely another one from M Cosmetics that I will be restocking when I run out, just because it's really nice and easy to use, especially for somebody like me who doesn't have a whole lot of experience using traditional eyeliners as opposed to airbrush eyeliners. So airbrush eyeliner I can go ahead and whip out in like 5 seconds, but traditional liner has always, the skill just always evaded me, and I don't know why, but I have been practicing a little bit more and I have gotten very much used to this pen, and so I feel a little bit more confident to go ahead and just use this on camera today. So I'm going to go ahead and just line my eyes. Alright, so now that my eyes are lined, we have a nice, beautiful, elongated cat eye going on. I'm going to go ahead and touch up the bottom lower lash line. If you've been here for a long time, or even if you're new here, I'll explain it again. I don't like to use silicone base on the lower lash line. I just feel like there's no real way to not get it in your eye, and my eyes are really sensitive that when it does get in my eye, they get red, they get watery, and just really irritated. It's very uncomfortable. So what I like to do instead when I'm using silicone base eyeshadow is just to go in with a powder shadow for the lower lash line, and I found that the Dose of Colors Pretty Cool palette mirrors the shades in the Temptu Airshadows really well. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a few shades from this palette and apply it to the lower lash line. So I will be using Let's Chill, and for some depth I will also be using possibly Fine Print and Smoke Show. So Let's Chill is this shade right here, and then this one right here is Fine Print, and the deepest is Smoke Show. So I'll go ahead and just do that really quickly because that's not airbrush, so it's not really relevant or important to the tutorial. And this is just the Makeup by Mario E5 brush. Absolutely love this brush. It is perfect. I know people were not too jazzed about his brushes, but you know what? I like them. They were easy, really easy for me to use, super easy for me to blend with. I liked them. I didn't mind the price tag, but I absolutely love this one. It's very unique. It's got a pointed end and then fluffy sides, which makes it really easy for adding pigment to the lower lash line and the inner corner of the eye. So now I'm just going into Fine Print, just on this outer third, and then finishing off with a deepest shade Smoke Show, just for that outer bit, connecting that into the liner. There we go. So we got a little bit smoky on the lower lash line, natural on the upper lash line. Totally my vibe when I'm wearing eyeshadow, which is very rarely nowadays. Anyway, so now that the eyes are for the most part complete, we are going to apply mascara, but I'm going to do that after I go ahead and apply my setting spray. I am going to go ahead and go in with powder now, just to go ahead and like slightly mattify the T-zone. And for the powder, I'm going to be taking the Milk Makeup Blur and Set, and I'm just going to go ahead and lightly set around the face and the under eye area. So let's make sure there's no creasing. See, no creasing. Love it. Love it. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this Sigma Soft Blend 50 brush, and I'm just going to make sure I got enough product here on the cap. I'm just going to take a little bit of the powder, just the smallest amount, and then I'm going to go ahead and just set the under eyes like so, just close to where I have that really deep crease. Not more, because I don't want my under eyes to be like really dry looking because I have a lot of texture there. So just this one area. and gets it just right there. Okay, and then for the rest of the face, I'm going to take a fluffier soft blend brush from Sigma. This is the Soft Blend number 60. And I'm just going to go ahead and pack some powder onto this brush like so. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take it down the T-zone, avoiding the center. So I'm going to go on the sides of my nose here, on the middle of my forehead, a little tiny bit over the cupid's bow just in the center, and then on the chin as well, because we want these areas to be a little bit more mattified because I do have an oilier skin type, an oilier T-zone. I definitely want those areas to be a little bit more mattified, and I have an eyelash right here, so let me just get that off before I go in. So I'm just gonna softly apply some to the outer portion of the nose up here. And as you can see, it's just like, it just removes that excess shine, but it keeps it looking really, really nice. I've really been loving this for the face. Okay, so I'm just gonna take some just right here, because this area tends to look like super shiny. And then my smile lines. And then I'm gonna take some on the chin, like so. Just right there, just to go ahead and mattify that area, because I want everything else to be nice and glowy. One more over on the forehead. Do we like it? Do we like her? We do. Okay, right in the middle there, because that can look really shiny. And that is it for powder. So now that the powder is done, I'm just going to go back in with my Scandinavia Bridal Makeup Finishing Spray in the Temptu Air. Couple pumps. Ba-da-ba-ba. 1, 2. Turn it on. And just melt everything into the skin. Beautiful. Done, done. Take fan. Finish off. Okay, and then for mascara, I'm going to be using my new favorites. I have not tried the Temptu mascara. I got to this one before I got to that one, so we're going to finish this one up. But I absolutely love this one, that I will probably buy a second tube of this, even though I do want to try the Temptu mascara. I don't know, maybe both of them will work out, but I know this is a huge favorite of mine. I've never loved a mascara like I love this one. So I'm going to go ahead and coat my lashes, apply some falsies, and then we'll go ahead and finish out the lips. Okay, so mascara and lashes are on, and for this look, I went in with the Ardell Naked Lashes in the style 421. I don't know if this has a style name or whatever, but this is the number 421 version of the Naked Lashes. Absolutely love the Naked Lashes. So nice, so comfortable to wear. Definitely have been vibing with them. I love how like there's kind of like fluffy and wispy, but at the same time they're like tapered in the front and in the back. Really like them a lot. Love them. So to finish this look off, I'm going to be going ahead and topping the lips with just a little bit of the Dose of Colors That's Cool Gloss. I figure like I have some cooler tones on the eyes. It's still winter. Let's just go ahead and finish off this look with a cool tone. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this on the lips. I'm not going to put anything underneath just because I feel like this gloss is pretty pigmented on its own. Dose of Colors is always bringing the juice. Okay, and that is about it for this look. So I'm going to go ahead and zhuzh the hair a little bit, and then we will be back to wrap up this video. Alright, so the hair is zhuzhed and this is the finished look. I feel like it's glowy, it's beautiful, it's glam, nice and soft on the eyes, nothing spectacular or special, very neutral, kind of neutral cool. And then we have really beautiful, natural, glowy looking skin, which I absolutely love. Natural, my skin for better, totally my vibe. We know this. If you're new, you might not know this, but yes, that's totally my vibe. I'm absolutely loving how today's look came out. I definitely really like the way the Auric Glow Lust looks underneath the Hydro Lock foundation. I feel like it's just that added oomph of luminosity, that added oomph of glow. And I think it just looks so pretty and so soft and so ethereal. All right, so that about wraps it out for this video. I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to go ahead and spend it with me. It means so the world to me. And if you did go ahead and are one of the few who makes it to the end of the videos, I want to give you a special thank you so much for watching my video through its entirety. It really means the world to me that you are taking the time out of your own day and of course spending that time with me. So I really appreciate it so much. And if you are one of those people who do make it to the end of my videos, if you could just go ahead and leave me, we're in the dead of winter, so what about a snowflake emoji? If you can go ahead and leave me a snowflake emoji in the comment section below. If you're planning to comment, of course there's no pressure or anything like that. If you're watching from a PC, just type in the word snowflake and I'll know exactly what that means, so that I can go ahead and just give you a special thank you for watching the video in its entirety, and I can just kind of pour out my love to you for spending your time with me today. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye!